Canadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Make a greater contribution to your credit union by volunteering to serve on one of the following: Board of Directors, Supervisory and Compliance Committee, and Credit Committee. Members wishing to be considered must be active members of the credit union, be of good standing, and possess a reasonable understanding of the credit union's philosophy and operating principles. Application forms can be downloaded at gutcu.com/nomination or collected at any GUT-CCU branch. Send your application via email to nominations in care of GUT Cooperative Credit Union, Grenville and St. John Streets, St. George's. Or email your nominations to gutcu@spiceisle.com. The subject should be Nominations 2022. The deadline for applications is Friday, April 29th, 2022.
This is the GBN television news for today, Thursday, April 28th, 2022. I am Beverly Telesford. In the headlines, RGPF gives the assurance that investigation into Sunday's deadly boating incident will involve two separate organizations. GUT President believes games are being played with the pension issue as the Prime Minister announces 3-month advisory committee. And NDC's political leader delivers first address to the nation and calls for ingenuity and a different approach in taking the country forward. And around the globe in the region, Health Ministry in Trinidad concerned with over 85% increase in daily average COVID-19 cases. Internationally, Russia's President Vladimir Putin warns against foreign intervention in Ukraine war. And in sports, Grenada fails to qualify for a knockout round of the CONCACAF Under-17 Women's Championship, ending their World Cup berth early. The details after this message.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. The Royal Grenada Police Force has given the assurance that the deadly boating incident involving the Coast Guard and a small fishing vessel will be thoroughly investigated using a parallel approach. In a news release on Thursday, the RGPF says investigations being carried out into the tragic and emotionally devastating boating accident that claimed the life of 22-year-old Kimon Bell will involve the Maritime Administration on one hand and the RGPF on the other. It says the investigations will be conducted independent of each other. The RGPF notes that to date, a number of actions have already been taken. First, the accident was reported to the Maritime Administration in accordance with the Shipping Act of the 2010 Continuous Revised Laws of Grenada. The Maritime Administration will follow through on its mandate within the legislation to conduct the necessary investigation into the accident, the findings of which will be submitted to the Minister responsible for Maritime Administration for appropriate action. Secondly, the RGPF has requested the support from the regional security system in conducting its own investigation. The RSS will assist in providing maritime and investigative expertise, as well as provide an additional layer of objectivity and transparency in the investigative process. Expert assistance from the RSS is expected on island early next week. Additionally, the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, is involved and will be consulted at every stage of the investigation. Upon completion, the file and its findings will be handed over to the DPP for his consideration and recommendations. The public is advised that the determination of what criminal offense, if any, arises out of this incident will be made by the DPP. The views on the national address delivered by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell continue to roll in, with many focusing on the long-standing and important issue of pension restoration. The national address was the focus of the discourse on GBN's Election Watch on Wednesday. Here's Jared Joseph.
Former political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Nazim Burke, has expressed his disappointment with several aspects of the national address delivered by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, which focused heavily on pension payment for public officers. Commending the decision not to appeal the pension ruling, the former finance minister noted, however, the tone and intent led more on the negative.
Once you make that decision that you're not going to appeal, then the country is faced with a particular challenge. And every challenge carries with it, every crisis carries with it opportunities and potential threats.
Elaborating that leadership is about identifying opportunities and minimizing risk, Burke says government is missing out by not taking advantage of the opportunities.
I'm not saying it is easy. I'm saying therein lies the opportunity. And I did not get from the Prime Minister a very inspirational speech, a very energizing speech, a very mobilizing speech in which he was galvanizing the nation. Now that he had decided we are not going to appeal it, we're going to make this happen, he needed to pull everybody and give them the sense we can do this working together.
Meanwhile, another panelist on GBN's Election Watch program on Wednesday, Byron Campbell, welcoming the inclusive approach, believes 3 months for the advisory committee to recommend actionable plans for handling the payment of public sector pension is enough.
And pointed out, most importantly, that whereas its government must manage this process, the responsibility, in other words, who's going to be paying this are the taxpayers. You know, it's you and I, the citizens of the country, that will be responsible. So it is not an easy fix. In my view, therefore, that I thought that 3 months, having something standing there and injustice to the workers for 37 years, 3 months, in my view, is reasonable.
Daisy Hazard, in her portfolio of communication specialists, dissecting the Prime Minister's national address, says it was surprising to witness a display of power and pomp outside of a formal state function.
There was a gathering of very senior civil servants, very senior persons attached to the administration in that trade center, and really all that address had to deal with was the pension issue. So it was a well thought out branding opportunity, but in my mind there was a bit of an overreach.
Hazard believes the setting for the national address painted a different picture.
But then how do you brand an event where the Prime Minister comes to say that this judgment is going to sink this country, that if the government goes out and pays pension of public servants, farmers, and the little girl from Grand Roy, and the fisherman from Guave, and he pointed to a farmer in Birch Grove, a number of places and people, how do you speak to the state not being able to afford that? And yet you are displaying at the trade center last night what taxpayers could now begin to say, how much did it cost for us to hold that sort of a pageant at the trade center last night to speak about the pension and gratuity issue, where you are saying it's going to cost the taxpayers too much money.
Parliamentary Representative for St. Patrick West, Anthony Boson, while admitting that government is obligated by law to accept and execute the pension ruling, reiterated what the Prime Minister said in his address on Tuesday, that such a judgment has significant social and economic impact on Grenada. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
President of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Jude Bartholomew, says he is watching with a keen eye as he believes games are being played when it comes to the pension issue. We get more in this report from Newsroom Supervisor Cherry Blackman Stephen.
President of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Jude Bartholomew, says he was surprised by the barrage of attacks on the trade unions and the working class people by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, as he called on the Grenadian leader to respect the High Court judgment on pension for public workers.
Before we took the matter to courts, there were all these negotiations and back and forth about pension. But now even the Prime Minister would have said when we took the matter to court that whatever the judge ruled, that the government of Grenada was going to accept that ruling. And without a shadow of a doubt that the judgment is clear. All right, so pension restoration is the order of the courts and the order of the land. And therefore, one would want to think that is in the best interest of the government of Grenada to come forward and to deal with the pension matter, to start payments. All right.
Referring to the establishment of a 5-member advisory committee to make recommendations on the way forward in servicing pension restoration at the end of 3 months, Bartholomew is not pleased.
Payments, all right, food. It is really, really surprising and heartbreaking in the sense that workers, persons who have retired for all these years and persons who are getting ready to retire have to wait another 3 months with this sort of committee and games that have been played with the pension. And so I think for workers, we are watching, and such body ruling is very, very clear. That pension ruling is very, very, very clear. And all the thing about committees being formed and such is a way of just a public charade, and we're just watching that.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, during his national address on Tuesday night, said government will not appeal the judgment on pension, but the payment of millions of dollars to public servants, if not managed strategically, can completely derail the country's economy. Dr. Mitchell provided preliminary figures of what the payout would cost the government.
Preliminary indication, and these are just preliminary numbers, that we will have to find at least $465 million. Sister brothers, take that in. $465 million. That's not all. And then on average, we'd have to find $120 more million each year for at least the next 37 years.
Cherry and Blackman, Stephen, GBN News.
The long-dormant Grenadian spirit has been revitalized, which reflects hope as well as the dawn of a new era in politics that the state of Grenada deserves. This was one of the focal points as political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Deacon Mitchell, addressed the nation on Wednesday night. Jared Joseph has the details.
The eradication of poverty is our #1 priority.
The spirit of Grenada is resonating in the fight for pension by public workers, noted political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Deacon Mitchell, while pointing to that same spirit in the Grenadian ancestors and forefathers in the era of slavery, independence, and the revolution. In his address to the nation, NDC's leader said, "It is time to translate that spirit into a new Grenada."
It demands of us, in the words of our national anthem, that we aspire, build, and advance as one people together. Not by yourself, not tongue against country, not Carriacou and Petite Martinique against Grenada, not workers against employers, not employers against workers, but all of us working together to move Grenada forward.
Mitchell says this moment in Grenada's history demands that the people, as their ancestors did, embrace the major challenges faced head-on.
It requires us to back ourselves and be confident in our abilities. It requires us to be bold and to know that as one nation, one people, we can solve the difficult challenges we face and improve the standard of living of all Grenadians.
Noting that it is not business as usual, NDC's political leader added that ingenuity and a different approach are needed, and not the sweet talk or what has been dubbed safer hands. Thus, NDC's vision to transform Grenada into a self-reliant and wealth-creating nation was introduced.
there must be an end to the so-called contract work. It is illegal. And the same way in which the pension issue has come around 40 years later, it is the same way the contract work issue will come around if we do not solve it now. Our workers, not just public service workers, but all workers must be paid pensions or gratuity upon retirement.
Twice monthly payment of salaries, a first-class health system, and the reshaping of Grenada's education system, measures stated are needed to meet immediate and long-term needs of citizens.
Our agriculture and agro-processing, fishing and marine industries, and tourism must be the backbone of our economic development. We must therefore ensure that our education system is reflective of this by educating our population specific to these industries.
The inclusion of the creative arts in education and housing opportunities for each Grenadian, while Mitchell highlighted NDC's intent from next Wednesday to set out its transformative agenda for Grenada, which includes their plan on pension payment for public servants. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
This is News at 7. Coming up, GOT President says industrial action at TAMCC is long overdue. Stay with us.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Angie, don't you know that you should not fly kites near electrical poles and wires? You should only fly it in open areas. If the kite gets stuck, it can cause power outages throughout the village.
Then I'll just pull it down, Johnny. Simple.
No, you shouldn't do that. You can get shocked. You should call Grenlec at 237 and they will come and help.
Alright.
Never fly kites near the power lines. If your kite ever gets tangled, do not attempt to remove it on your own. A message from Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Make a greater contribution to your credit union by volunteering to serve on one of the following: Board of Directors, Supervisory and Compliance Committee, and Credit Committee. Members wishing to be considered must be active members of the credit union, be of good standing, and possess a reasonable understanding of the credit union's philosophy and operating principles. Application forms can be downloaded at gutcu.com/nomination or collected at any GUT-CCU branch. Send your application via email to nominations in care of GUT Cooperative Credit Union, Grenville and St. John Streets, St. George's. Or email your nominations to gutcu@spiceisle.com. The subject should be Nominations 2022. The deadline for applications is Friday, April 29th, 2022.
I go drink water in Moonlight City. I go drink water in Moonlight City. Yo, this is the girl Patricia Ross, and I will be in Grenada for May I Fet. Moonlight City, yours truly will be there.
They say we toxic. We full of toxic love.
See you there, Moonlight City, May I Fet.
Body wet up, wet girl, where the man them carry on. Carry on, baby. Carry on.
is the girl Patricia, but I'm to all my sexy Grenadian ladies, I'm coming.
My name is Dominic Lawrence. I'm a police officer by profession, and I've been a member of Arisa now for about 20 years or less. I chose to join Arisa because I've been hearing some good stuff about them. And my sister was a member before me. She told me about her good experience that she had with Arisa. What I like most about Arisa is the way they treat you as a member. They take good care of you. They help you in very, very good ways. They have some good products in place to help you. I've been able to budget a lot better because of the products and things that they have in place to help us as members. I love it when you call Arisa and the way they would answer the phone. Arisa, how can we make you smile? I would like to take this time now to congratulate Arisa on the 75 years of service to the people of Grenada.
The night before the holiday, Sunday, May 1st, all roads lead to one place and one venue only. The Cowpan, as Roller Promotions presents Out and Bad, featuring live and direct from Jamaica, the international dancehall icon, DJ live inside the Cowpan alongside Trinidad's top dancehall artist, and the ladies' man, Sarima. You know Cowpan is gonna be wicked. Come early to witness the tune for tune song clash. Country versus town. Bad man, we not Texas enough. On the decks, 473 Ruler, Fearless Givon, Bomb Squad, Teflon, 5-Star MK, Unity Sound, and Star Neil. Hosted by Blackstorm, Jabba, and PQ. Representing Grenada, Moise, Tara the Governor, Vaughn, Ledneck, Khalifa, Muddy, Jab King, Squeezed, Little Jello, plus more. Get your $40 early birds now from all popular ticket locations. Second batch $50, general $60, or pay more at the door. Sunday, May 1st.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to News at 7. T.A. Marisho Community College is calling for patience, but the president of the Grenada Union of Teachers says the issues affecting its members at the institution have been going on for too long. Blossom Alexis Welch has this story.
The T.A. Marisho Community College says it remains committed to open dialogue to address salary and other issues at the institution and asked for patience as they seek to address the same while the students are in the process of submitting their school-based assessments in preparation for CAPE examinations. This is in response to protest action taken on Wednesday by lecturers at TAMCC, represented by the Grenada Union of Teachers. President of the GUT, Jude Bartholomew, in justification and explanation of the action taken, said these workers have not received a salary increase in more than a decade.
I was struggling. They just paid the 25% of 2016 increments. You know, other years they have been taking a long time to pay the workers. So can you imagine 2019, 2020, they haven't paid that increment as yet, and 25% of that increment due what workers would have received. Some workers will tell you that they just received $50. Some people $25 is not a lot of money, and not all workers at TAMCC they are getting eligible or entitled to increments. So this thing have been boiling for a long long period of time. And I think that the management, they're taking the workers for granted.
Bartholomew says many attempts to meet with TAMCC management to thrash out the issues in the shortest possible time have failed.
Hopefully now they will get the message, and we look forward to, because what we want basically for management and everybody to come to the negotiating table where we can solve this situation. But the very opposite happened. We called for the negotiating table where we can deal with these matters, and we did not get any response. And that's the reason why we have to take action, and we are very, very serious about that. So I think that the news is out and they will get the message. We want this situation to settle as quickly and amicably as possible, because in despite of this situation, we have the best interests of the young people at the college at heart.
A news release from TAMCC on Wednesday stated that it recently concluded its payments of increments owed to faculty and staff for the period 2013 to 2018. The payments of 25% of outstanding increments for the year 2016 have also been received. The college release further states that it remains dedicated to the payment of all outstanding increments and ensures all concerned that the institution expects to fulfill the payment of the balance of the outstanding increments for the period 2019 to 2021 by the end of this year. Blossom Alexis Welsh, GBN News.
Outgoing parliamentary representative for St. Patrick West, Anthony Boson, readying Grenadians for the upcoming general election, told party supporters on Sunday that they will soon be going back to the polls and that the choice is theirs to make or to decide if they want to re-elect the new National Party or if they want to experiment with something new. But he laid on the table his reasons why the NMP is the best party to continue to move the country forward.
When I examine Team NNP, I see this combination of youth and experience working together. And therefore, I can only conclude that Team NNP is the best choice to govern Grenada in this difficult and challenging time. And it is the best choice, brothers and sisters, to bring about intergenerational change that we are talking about. You are in safer hands in the new National Party. Do not experiment, my friends, with your future.
Boson warns that some challenges will require the new National Party at the helm.
There is a possibility of the resurgence of this COVID virus or its variant. We have to be careful, brothers and sisters. Secondly, brothers and sisters, we have to consider the possible impact of the conflict taking place between Russia and Ukraine and the effects it could have on our food security, price of energy, price of basic commodities, brothers and sisters, and even the ability to access international financing.
Tonight's GBN Health features an initiative by Sandals Grenada's 40/40 project that provided Train the Trainers session to 16 participants who are now certified community emergency response team instructors. Christina John has tonight's feature. GBN Health comes to complements Gittins Healthcare.
You need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs. Visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grandans, Victoria Street, Grenville, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
16 participants were engaged in a community emergency response team instructors CERT Train the Trainers workshop, who in turn are expected to train other individuals in communities to be better prepared to assist with search and rescue in the event of a disaster. This 2-week training program forms part of Sandals Grenada's 40/40 project. Based on request, Bridget Espinoza is in Grenada as one of the instructors who explained what the project entails. details.
Topics that we cover are either very specific to things of disaster mental health, so how our trainers will explain to community members what aspects to look for after a disaster has hit, beforehand and even after, to things just like medical knowledge of first aid, how to deal with small wounds to excess bleeding, and then things as removal of potential victims in structural damage, disaster damage as well, and even more diverse of specifics of fire safety, responding to terrorism, things that may not be on the radar of the Grenadian community, but it's something just to raise awareness.
Espinosa says what they tried to do is build stronger presentation skills and provide exposure to those with experience on how to present to those without experience. The participants comprise 9 police officers from the RGPF, 1 Youth Emergency Action Committee member from Dominica, and 6 from the local YAC organization. They provided feedbacks from the past days of training and how it will impact their lives and those around them. Maverick Carmichael is one of the Youth Emergency Action Committee members.
Now, I'm from Brushgrove, and I think that doing this training will help me to develop my skills in disaster preparedness and response to better help my community. And I must say that what I'm taking away from this is a lot of information that emergency and disasters can strike at any moment, right? These are not things that we see coming, right? They are unexpected events, and in the Caribbean region, we are vulnerable to quite a few. Right?
Davin Matthew, a corporal of police, sees this as an opportunity to enhance part of the training he has already received within the RGPF.
Team member from the St. Andrew area. I am here receiving this training so that I can now go out into my community and engage other persons, train other persons so that they too can become SOT members as well, so that we can respond to emergencies within our community. Police officer, we continue to do emergency response training, and every police officer is equipped with that level of training.
Christelina John, GBN News.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. GBN Social Buzz is reaching beyond the local platform to share with you what's trending on social media. We browse the World Wide Web and bring to you the topics inciting the most reaction and debate among users. We aired a report from the CNC3 News in Trinidad on Tuesday about a glimmer of hope that the captain of the MV Fairchance, Grenadian Dexter Chance, is still alive, almost 1 month after the accident at sea. Chance is the only crew member still missing from the vessel, which was overturned on April 2nd.
They didn't even have a search on the vessel. They didn't have a search to say in case the captain would have been back on the vessel by mistake. And it's hard for me to see the vessel is here. We get everybody, and the main person of the vessel is missing, which is the captain. And the guys, imagine we have a look outside when the boat was rolled over. The Coast Guard said they were guarding. And up to now, we cannot find the captain. If you were guarding this vessel, how the captain could have get out of the vessel without nobody seeing his float, or come on.
Social media users took to the comment section to share their thoughts and concerns about the way the matter was handled. The following views are of the members of the public and not necessarily of the GBN. Ria said, "Heartbreaking indeed. It's terrible how the whole ordeal was handled. Imagine he had to come to do this. Shaking my head. They haven't even cleared the boat up to now. Unbelievable." Dexter questioned, "If he's still alive, where is he?" Amika said, "So sad. Hopefully they find his body to give the family some closure." Paula questioned, "But wait now, Grenada didn't take part in the rescue at all?" Tiffany added her 2 cents, saying, "Oh Lord, I really hope he's safe somewhere. That will be the sweetest feeling for his family and the other survivor." That's what's buzzing tonight. We encourage you, our viewers and listeners, to submit your think pieces on trending topics locally, regionally, and internationally via our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms. We take a break, but still ahead, St. George's Institute breaks long-running reign of Bishop's College in National Food and Nutrition Quiz. This is News at 7. Stay with us.
David Moya Monroe presents a tribute to Mom on Mother's Day. It's an afternoon of musical enchantment as we celebrate Mom through the pulsating rhythms of New Dimension, Angel Harps, and Comancheros steel orchestras. Celebrating Mom. There's also attractions for the kids. Yes, bouncing castle, face painting, as well as your favorite animated friends. Join the celebration on Mother's Day at Grand Mall Plainfield. It's a tribute to Mom as we celebrate life, living with the angels and queens among us. No vending allowed at this event.
Hey man, when we come online, you only juking up the phone.
Yeah boy, now as I say, they have an app. I can't find it. I check Play Store. I do a Google search. I can't find it. Man, I get fed up, man.
Nah man, because you look in the wrong place. The app is web-based. You access it via your web browser, right? You can add it to your home screen or your desktop, like any regular app. Watch, look, I have it on my phone, right? And you can access it or add it to any device, your computer, your tablet, any device.
Well, how about doing that and I can't find it?
All you have to do is open your browser, right? And type mobile.nawasa.gd. And voila, you see?
Just so?
Yes, and you can download it or access it via the web. Once you have a reliable internet connection, right, you can run the app anywhere, anytime.
So, how I adding that to my home screen?
You click on those three dots, right, or your web browser setting, and look for the option to install app or add to home screen. Easy peasy. The Nawasa app is versatile, fast-paced, and always up to date because it's web-based. Once a change is made to the app, it updates automatically, no hassle.
Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion.
Monday, May 2nd, the holiday. Mangazo takes opulence to a different level as we invite you to our food festival. 11 in the morning until delicious, sumptuous, and visually appealing food, vegan food, seafood, oil down, cakes and pastries, wild meat, curry, sauce, and lots more. And look out for cultural performances, steel band, and more. For more info, call 538-0358 or 405 Gazo. That's 4296. Monday, May 2nd, the holiday. Mangazo Food Festival. Sponsored by Independence Agencies Limited. Agent Force Swiss. It's better because of Swiss.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
The stage is set. The anticipation is high. As we get ready for a night of love. Saturday, May 7th at the National Cricket Stadium. Lovers of reggae. We welcome back to the Spice Isle, the electrifying Taurus Riley. With full live band. Together with Dean Fraser on sax. Known for his energetic performance, lovers of dancehall, we welcome on stage Stylo G. From the 4th Jenna Camp, Governor. Also featuring local stars Dash, Vaughn, and Valley Ned. Get your early bird tickets for $100. Available at the usual Sunshine Promotion outlets and online at GoToFed.com. Stay connected to our social media pages for details on our stage side VIP. Gates open at 8 p.m. Showtime 10 p.m. It's a night of love. Brought to you by Sunshine Promotions.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Welcome back. Big win for St. George's Institute as they captured the championship title in the 2022 Grenada Food and Nutrition Quiz. Closina John was at the Grenada Youth Center where the finals of the competition were held.
After holding on to the title for 8 consecutive years, Bishop's College was defeated by first-timer in competition St. George's Institute in the final of the 2022 Grenada Food and Nutrition Council Nutrition Quiz. St. George's Institute won the competition, scoring 72.5 points, only 1 point ahead of defending champs Bishop's College, who had to settle for second place with 71.5. Team member from Bishop's College, Akela Simmons, says participating in the quiz will certainly help her in her upcoming exams.
Honestly, the experience was nice. I had fun. The competition was nice. It was thrilling. It was exciting. And I felt like I could have done better, but I'm happy that someone else got the chance to take home the trophy.
Grenville Secondary won the sudden death round to settle for third place on 62.5 points, with St. Mark fourth on 57.5 points. Third place Grenville Secondary School's Krista Frederick also spoke to the news team.
First of all, coming into the competition, we were nervous at first, but I believe that we did our best, and we are kind of satisfied with our performance, but I know we could have done better.
Mia Oliver from St. Mark's Secondary said the competition was a bit of a challenge. However, she encouraged other potential participants to embrace their fears and do their best.
I feel very proud because it's our first time taking part in the competition, and knowing that we are one of the 4 teams coming here in the finals today, I feel very proud.
Students were quizzed in 5 categories: nutrition and food sources, nutrition and lifestyle, food composition, chronic non-communicable diseases, food preparation and sanitation, among others. These came in the form of true and false, open-ended and multiple-choice questions. Lichelle Murray, Communications Officer at the GFNC, gave her thoughts on the overall competition.
Great competition. We were actually surprised at the level of knowledge that the primary students had, and based on feedback, some of the questions were too easy for them. So we are pleased to see that the competition is picking up. Children are becoming more and more interested in competing in the competition, and also a very special aspect of it is that it's not seen as only a competition for the prizes or, for what is to be won, but more so for the educational part of it.
Each student received a certificate of participation. Students as well as the teachers from the top 3 schools were awarded individual prizes. GFNC's Murray says not only does this competition educate people on healthy eating practices and the role of proper nutrition in warding off chronic non-communicable diseases, but it's also an opportunity for students to test their knowledge as part of their preparation for CXC exams. Christelina John, GBN News.
Now let's take a peek through the GBN ISA lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISA is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Tonight's ISA reporter captured photographs of a female opossum, or locally known as a manikou, perched with her young ones on a utility line. Manicous often use power poles and overhead cables on the street as their own personal highway. They can easily walk along any cable that is about as thick as a pinky finger, and even if the cable is loose and sagging, they have no trouble at all. They are also known to be nocturnal creatures, so it was interesting that our ISA reporter caught one in action during the day. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms. Stay with us. Our sports news is up next.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Granville, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
Weather for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight, cloudy to overcast and hazy with light to moderate rain and a low chance of thunder showers. Tonight, minimum temperature 23.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 5 to 15 miles per hour, becoming variable to calm at times. Seas moderate with waves up to 7 feet in open water. A small craft advisory is in effect. Tides low at 8 p.m. and high at 2:30 a.m. Sunrise tomorrow 5:49. Weather for Friday, April 29th, cloudy and hazy with occasional light to moderate showers and a low chance of isolated thunder showers. Weather for Saturday, April 30th, partly cloudy and hazy with a medium chance of some brief morning showers, improving by afternoon. And weather for Sunday, May 1st, mostly fair with a low chance of a few brief nighttime showers. right, sporting fans, let's kick off with football. Team Grenada ended its CONCACAF Under-17 Women's Championship campaign with a 4-0 loss against Puerto Rico, just missing out on a chance to go to the knockout round. The match quickly saw the Spice Girls on the back foot due to an error by goalkeeper Tiara McIntosh, who was playing on her debut game of the tournament, but she soon recovered to make some important saves. Malinia Fullerton had some moments displaying skills in the midfield. However, Grenada was outskilled overall by a more compact Puerto Rico. Interviewed in the Flash Zone was Spice Girls skipper for the match, Leticia Williams.
To me, the experience was great. It was an opportunity for us to do our best, execute what we did in training, etc.
What teaching leaves you an international competition? How is it?
Can you repeat that?
What teaching leaves you an international competition? How is it?
It wasn't bad, I guess. We did our best, I could say. Yeah.
Thank you, Leticia.
You're welcome.
Meanwhile, Spice Boy Regan Charles Cook is on the 4-man shortlist for the PFA Scotland Player of the Season award. Charles Cook, who currently plays for Ross County FC in the Scottish Premier League, has made 4 appearances for Grenada in international matches. Moving now to cricket. The St. Mark's Cricket League is revving to continue this weekend with matches scheduled for Saturday and Sunday. Following some keenly contested matchups last weekend, another competitive round of games is expected this weekend.
These are the matches for this upcoming weekend in the St. Mark's Cricket League, sponsored by Dr. the Right Honorable Kit Mitchell. On Saturday, we have Old Boys coming up against Youth. On Sunday, Redmond battles the neighbors Fountain. Matches are at the Austin Josh Park in Victoria and begin at 11 a.m.
And finally, in basketball, professional basketballer Akim Robertson, based in Switzerland, says there are opportunities for young Grenadians to benefit from scholarships available in the United States. Robertson says he has kept in touch with his former coaches based in the colleges and universities he attended, who have expressed interest in Grenadian basketballers of a certain height.
People text me, Kim, do you have any 6'8", 6'9" guy in Grenada who's tall, athletic, could jump, catch a lot of block shots? And to be honest, I haven't seen any. So I be trying to talk to him I seen guards, but he be trying to tell me he's not looking for guards, he's looking for big. So it's harder for a guard to get a scholarship because they could find 1,000 or 1,000,000 guards in the States, but it's going to be easier for a big, but an athletic big, to get a scholarship.
The pro bowler says a height differential and the ability to play defense are currently major factors for Grenadians seeking basketball scholarships in the U.S.
So you'll see somebody 6'8". He's not really skilled, but he can run, he could jump, he could block shot, he could catch a lob. Of course, don't take him because he's very athletic, and that's what they want. So coaches and scouts, when they come to look for players, they trying to look for the most athletic bigs out there, or the most athletic guards out there, or even guys who love to play defense, because in their eyes they could get a lot of guys for cheap in the States who could do the same thing that a guard would do back home.
And that's it for sports. Regional and international updates are next. Media One Caribbean Media Hookup. Tonight we start in Trinidad and Tobago, where the Ministry of Health is reporting an 85% increase in the daily average of COVID-19 cases compared to 2 weeks ago. Currently, the Twin Island Republic has over 7,000 active cases. TTT News has this report.
In 14 days, we moved from a rolling 7-day average of 238 to 440. If we continue like this, Dr. Hines, we go back to the days of 700, 800, 900 cases per day.
This country's COVID-19 situation is changing direction, according to health officials, and they're urging the population to take all precautions necessary to prevent the spread of the virus. Epidemiologist Dr. Avery Hines says there was a 24% increase over week 15 and 16 and is projected to move to 30% by the end of this week, which, according to Health Minister Terence Dialsing, is not explosive yet. He adds that the positivity rate of the number of tests returning positive results has also been increasing, with the monthly cases now beginning to rise again. But Minister Dialsing notes that with the opening up of the economy and relaxation of restrictions, this was anticipated. He says any thoughts of increasing measures will be considered by the Cabinet.
The question about increased measures or alternate measures is one that will be considered by the Honorable Prime Minister.
Minister Dialsing is hoping the rise in cases does not lead to a situation where the decommissioning of the Arima Hospital and others have to be stopped, and urge the population to get vaccinated to ensure that does not happen again.
Still in the region, St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip Pierre, during his maiden budget address to the nation, unveiled a number of tax reforms designed to bring relief to citizens from current economic burdens. More in this report.
Persons who earn less than $2,083 monthly will pay no income tax come January 2023. This is one of the measures highlighted by Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre during his maiden budget address to bring some relief to citizens, households, and companies amid the pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war. Pierre declared that the government placed great emphasis on addressing the immediate and pressing needs of citizens in the $1.8 billion 2022-2023 budget.
You may recall that the St. Lucia Labour Party promised to waive the payment of income tax for workers earning up to $4,000 a month or $48,000 annually. Mr. Speaker, having reviewed the fiscal situation and the likelihood of higher interest rates occasioned by changes in the global economic environment brought about by the Ukraine war, my government has decided to defer full implementation of this waiver of income tax. As an incremental step towards fulfilling this purpose, my government has decided that effective January 1st, 2023, persons earning up to $2,083 monthly, $25,000 annually will pay no tax. Mr. Speaker, this means that an additional 15,000 people in the public and private sectors will no longer be paying income tax. This measure should provide some relief to these workers battling to cope with higher food prices and the general increase in the cost of living.
The SLP administration also plans to subsidize the price of rice and sugar.
Latest increases in the prices of these commodities, rice, flour, brown sugar and white sugar, have kept these prices unchanged, and it has cost the government $9.8 million.
Pierre revealed that youth joblessness is a major challenge for the country. To this end, EC $10 million have been allocated for the youth economy in the budget estimates.
Further afield, Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned that any country trying to intervene with the Ukraine war will face a lightning-fast response. Ukraine's allies have stepped up the supply of weapons, with the U.S. vowing to make sure Ukraine defeats Russia, and Putin is not taking it lightly. BBC has the details.
St. Petersburg Palace. The president,
Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin.
Vladimir Putin was addressing lawmakers. From them, a sign of loyalty. The letter Z, symbol of Russia's offensive in Ukraine. From him, a warning to Ukraine's Western allies.
If anyone from the outside intends to interfere in what's happening, then they should know this. If they create threats for us, threats of a strategic nature, our retaliation, our counterstrike will be instantaneous. We have all the necessary instruments, ones that no one else can boast of. All the decisions on this have already been taken.
Across town, another decision announced. State energy giant Gazprom had shut off gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria. An escalation condemned across Europe. Talking of hostile, Russia continued to attack Ukraine, here with cruise missiles. There are Russians who oppose this operation, but public protest is dangerous. What those in power here demand is unflinching support for the offensive in Ukraine and for Russia's confrontation with the West.
And that's a look at regional and international news. We'll recap the headlines right after this. Recapping the headlines, RGPF gives the assurance that investigation into Sunday's deadly boating incident will involve two separate organizations. GOT President believes games are being played with the pension issue as the Prime Minister announces 3-month advisory committee. And NDC's political leader delivers first address to the nation and calls for ingenuity and a different approach in taking the country forward. In the region, Health Ministry in Trinidad concerned with over 85% increase in daily average COVID-19 cases. Internationally, Russia's President Vladimir Putin warns against foreign intervention in Ukraine war. And in sports, Grenada fails to qualify for a knockout round of the CONCACAF Under-17 Women's Championship, ending their World Cup berth early. That's the end of the GBN News for today, Thursday, April 28th, 2022. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Beverly Telesford. That's the news. Good night.